Um, let's fucking get into it. Velthek, what happened last time
Well,
on this stormy mountain?
continue our journey north from where we had originally met Otis, knowing that the lands were still disturbed. Headed towards one of the valleys where the realms have a thinner veil. After meeting some of the ghosts of the mountain had given us warning, Chalt being the strange land that it is, that we had found our path to the correct location. After ascending further towards the mountain where I believe it was the Shadowfell, as well as the Feywild, had kind of blended in with the world itself. We originally came upon what was the area that was given to us by the chief, this strange scroll. So, with some of our company being from the Feywild, Solani had done the honors of reading out the scroll and providing the strange rainbow road that had guided us further up. In that situation, we proceeded, not thinking too much other than worrying about the magic crumbling behind us if it were, and quickly started ascending. At that point, everything had turned to dark and gray. Color had been devoid from the bridge, though slime seemed to have fallen from up higher in the mountain. Had to quickly dispatch that. Strangely enough, everything seemed to return back to a colorful state. Very nervous at that point, we made way further up the bridge and tried to shorten our path as best as we could, but especially with the storm and the lightning, we had to make sure to stay on foot for the time being. Came up to a certain point on this mountain path after getting off the magic bridge that had taken us here. Strangely enough, to what seemed to almost like a corrupted part of Storm was the castle or something floating above, constantly sending down lightning. Some of us made it across relatively quickly. Thankfully, of my natural nature, I didn't have to worry about the lightning and took my time crossing the field. Though, unfortunately, there was the immediate assault of what seemed to be air elementals as the combat broke out right when it was short, and thankfully not many were injured. After that, we persisted on and finally arrived at this estranged outpost and castle and saw that the fog and veil were receding finally, or what we had done days ago at this point. As we came to approach, the researcher inside had informed us that him and his other compatriots had been here for some time, and that's when I came to realize that, especially being between the veil here, the days pass here slower in some cases, which is a bit nerve-wracking, but and also gladly sent out messages to those I worry about before getting here. In this situation, it was the lab and others that, if we were to try the front door, would probably be our immediate cease of life. The lower labs that we were formed of to be able to get to these other two researchers of this place would be more ideal, but also one of them has been causing the storm here, so I'm not entirely sure of their mental stability at this point, if they're willing to corrupt the land as well as cause the death of creatures.
Not one of them, a third person was the one who has been corrupted by the rifts and came back changed and has been causing this storm that thrums around you all.
Huh?
Apologies to jump in.
Nope. And at that point we were invited in by this event, but still taking great caution as we proceed.
That's where we'll pick up. Shamar stands at the top of the hidden staircase leading down, and he waves you all forward as he fixes his armor from showing you the massive lightning scar that he got on his own escape attempt from Voltaren.
That lightning's a bitch.
You're telling me.
Hmm.
Come on,
Well,
let's get to cover.
yes, we'll be sure to be much more careful when we're going through.
He
Does he
will
take this?
take. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as you guys start to file past him, he's gonna take a look at Grimka riding on the back of Georgie, and he'll kind of look at the staircase, eyeball Georgie, and he doesn't say anything, but it looks like it might be a tight fit for him.
Wiggle, wiggle.
He'll make it. It's okay.
He just nods and looks at him, and you realize that. Well, actually, give me an insight as you and Georgie start to pass him. Oh yeah, he's never seen an automaton this complex before, and if he has seen anything like it, it was certainly not on this scale. He's doing his damnedest to appear like a trader would, you know, like somebody who knows the value of something does not immediately go, oh my god, that's worth $1 billion. They try and keep a mask on it. You see right through him. Inside, he is trying to calculate how much money this has gone into Georgie, and the number is larger than any he has encountered before.
You know, Georgie's really cool. If you want to get a little bit of an insight to him, you can go ahead and he won't bite you, I promise.
I mean, I wonder where you acquired something of its nature.
Oh, I built them. With these
How-
little hands.
He is also, I believe I said that he was a halfling.
Yes, you
Double
did.
check. Yes, he is a halfling. He's only a little bit taller than you, Grimka. And he'll nod. Small hands, quick work, all that. And as you guys finish making your way into the tunnel, he'll step in and pull the sliding tracks of the rubble over to cover the stairs, casting you all into pitch darkness.
Now, say, this whole lightning, do you think there'd be a way to maybe harness this lightning for our own purposes, maybe?
He's gonna heave a heavy sigh and say, "You sound like Diro."
Well, it's more just inventor brain. I could see maybe a sort of lightning caster weapon, or something of that nature.
I mean, electricity has been used in some experiments on my home isle. It's more of a novelty than anything as far as I know, but I mean, I've never seen anything like him, and he doesn't seem to eat or
Nope.
you haven't refueled him while we've been talking for the last hour.
Well, Georgie's got a bit of I like to call it a self-propelling engine. It runs entirely on the arcane energy within the atmosphere. So he sort of draws it from the air and plants around him, and it sort of generates in there. You might be able to hear it if you press your head against his body. Against his little tummy, you can sort of hear the whirring.
Georgie will immediately flop on his back. There's a very loud clanging on the stairs behind everyone else. As you look, you see the 8-foot-tall automaton asking for belly rubs.
Go for it. He's asking.
Yeah, he'll indulge in mechanical belly rubs as the rest of you continue down the stairs. They lead down to a set of winding tunnels that only head in one direction. As you make your way through, you eventually find that they lead into a 20-foot square chamber. Though the area appears to be well traveled, the room itself is mostly bare. A large gold frame mirror is mounted against the north wall with a gold plaque hanging beneath it. You can see text on it, but can't make out what it says. There's also a lit brazier that sits in the center of the chamber. Its firelight casting shadows of all of you about the room as you file in and kind of set up in a little bit of a semicircular pattern around it. And Shamar kind of looks at the room in the same way that you are, as if he hadn't seen the room or as if it looks different from the last time he was here.
Interesting space you have.
I'm sorry?
Interesting space you have.
Not mine. El Talo, like I said, he likes to change the puzzle to get in every few hours.
So, do you know the answer to get in then, or is it a new puzzle every time?
New puzzle today. He looks around at the room. Last time there were paintings, and he kind of points at several different blank walls.
And your two associates are somewhere beyond this puzzle room.
Hmm.
And they're that.
There's a door usually, and he points at the mirror.
All right, let's figure out the puzzle then. May I investigate to see if there's anything significant in the room, anything that stands out?
Absolutely.
I'll
Please
help
give
him.
me an investigation. Okay, at advantage, as Velthek and you split up. You both look at each other, and you go, all right, we know what to do, and you just start going around the room, and you meet at the mirror. With a pair of 18.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
As you're looking around, there's nothing there that you don't detect any loose bricks. The brazier seems ordinary. I mean, maybe it's burning a little low, but it was probably set aflame not more than a few hours ago, maybe 3 at the most. As you make your way around, you don't find very much dust at all, as if this was a well-traveled space. The thing that does jump out at you is that the plaque has an inscription that seems less than ordinary. It says, "Light and shadow are mirrors of each other. Find those without their dark companion and present them to me. For only then shall you be granted passage."
Okay. Is there any light source in the room at the moment, or is it like dark?
The brazier is lit in the center of the room.
I look to see if I have a shadow.
Solani, you do not have a shadow.
Hey.
Well, that was all right. That was easy. Wait, does everyone else have their shadow?
As you look around the room, you see that Grimka does not have a shadow. It's hard to spot at first because she's climbed back onto Georgie's shoulders, but Georgie is himself. There is no small goblin-shaped shadow sitting atop his shadow's shoulders.
Grimka, can you come here a second, please?
Oh, yeah, okay.
We need to present ourselves according to the puzzle.
Oh, this isn't like a sacrifice thing, right? We're gonna load.
I draw my
assume it's
hammers. I
not-
don't trust the painting.
It's a mirror. It's not a painting.
It's
Or
clearly a
whatever.
I don't trust
I don't trust it.
Did you say? Did he say I?
That was out of character.
No,
I was
no,
saying
no.
me, Dan, the player, drew
Doesn't
that,
trust
and Grakthar take out hammers.
I just imagine Grakthar looking at a mirror, looking at himself, and like, I don't trust this guy.
This painting's moving. What the fuck is going?
Yeah, no.
Everyone
I'll
else-
hop off.
Yes. Everyone else, please back away from the mirror, and I'll stand in front of it and see if anything happens when Grimka comes as well.
Step aside.
Yeah, I'll go and stand next to Solani.
Grakthar, can you bring yourself to step back?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, really, really quickly, does anyone want to run Helena? Or shall I?
I can if you don't want to.
Thar. Alright, you should have control of the fighter of the party. Dan is now the entire front line, which is kind of fun, kind of fucking hilarious.
Hell yeah.
Dan is all the beefy boys.
As the two of you stand in front of the mirror, you can see that in your reflection, the two of you have shadows. And as you look at those in the far background of the mirror, you can see that in their reflections, they do not have shadows, though they do in the room. And as all of these things are perceived, the mirror slowly begins to fade out of existence, revealing a doorway and a tunnel that slopes very slightly upwards.
Oh, that was a nice, easy puzzle, at least.
Yeah, I like that one better than the last one.
What was the last one?
You had to figure out which painting's eyes were actually following you.
That is beyond fucking
How would you do
My
that? If you're
God.
looking at one, you couldn't be looking at the other.
You kind of... I had to go one by one. El Talo said he knew the trick to it, but he didn't. He's not telling me. That's the whole point.
Gatekeeper.
I bet if you drew a line across each of their eyes and then you went up or down and see if the pupil went above or below the line, but you could tell then.
I would never have thought of that.
Maybe you could use a mirror. So if it was behind you,
That's
you'd
why
be able to see it.
you are inferior to my mistress.
Crackthought, don't be rude. It's fine.
By the way, they
Weird way
do
to
this
come out about it,
thing.
big guy.
You don't be rude either. We solved the puzzle. Let's go.
Yep.
This is a very good day.
We
All
go
right.
upwards.
You continue onwards after a short walk up this very it's very slight incline, not more than like 5 degrees. Slopes up into a large open area. As you walk in, you can see that it is well lit. It is cluttered with tables, shelves, and desks of all different shapes and sizes, many different grains and patterns of wood. It looks like many of these things were brought from different areas around the world. Notes are scrawled along the collections of books and sheets of parchment scattered all around the room between various piles of alchemical and crafting tools of almost every description. Busying themselves in the room, you see a pair of figures. As they turn, Shamar will step forward and say, everyone, these are El Talo and Nanette.
Hello.
Oh, Val. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
They will both straighten up from what they're doing. You can see that El Talo is a human man. He has robes that are not dissimilar to a mage's robes and a carved quarterstaff that he immediately picks up. And Nanette is a short dwarven woman with what appears to be chainmail underneath a smock that she's wearing. And she'll walk over and join up to stand next to El Talo. Hi, y'all. Who are all of you? Where the fuck did you all come from?
Oh, lady, it's a real
Upstairs.
long story.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Let's introduce ourselves. My name's Solani. This is my compatriots, Belthic, Grakthar, Grimka.
Hey.
We came to find and discover a lost city, and I believe we found it. I believe we've also found that you all seem to have fallen into quite the interplanar pickle here.
Interplanar.
Well, I mean,
Yes,
we're
between
just
planes.
something like that. This last year's been one for the books, I'll say. And Eltala will give like a tap to his staff on the ground, which gives a small echo. We have been working tirelessly. You interrupt us. What is your purpose at Voltaren? This is an old fortress.
Hopefully to cease the disturbances that are going on here.
You would brave Teherako, he says with an eyebrow arched accusingly.
If that is where the problem leads.
He shares a glance with Nanette, who kind of just shrugs at him. What leads you to believe you can dispose of him? And the word dispose once again seems accusatory.
Well, we're certainly used to our own fair share of copious amounts of violence. If there's any insights you could provide to us that would help, that would of course be appreciated. We are, as Veltic said, here to help in what way we can.
Yes.
Whether you seem grateful for it or not, that's not my place to say. You've been here a while.
He definitely doesn't seem very grateful.
No, not particularly. Maybe we can change his tune. With murder.
Not your murder, clarification.
No, the murder of your problem. The murder of your
Bad
problem.
guy. Yeah, no, we don't like
Yes.
him.
There is also the other matter. If you do not want us to murder him, we could try to figure something out.
Shamar kind of gives up like a cough, and then it's quiet, but you all hear him say like, "He's gone, man. He's gone." Nanette will kind of smile sadly. Unfortunately, Shamar's compatriot, he seems to have completely gone insane, lost himself. You don't go changing your name to be after one of the old elemental spirits of Chult with all your marbles, you know?
So it has
And you all hear,
manifested.
the echoing thunder upstairs.
Oh, so we're on that type of crazy. Okay.
Well,
I
you
wouldn't.
call it crazy, but he does seem to, at least from the sound of the thunder upstairs, hold some elemental power of the aspect he seems to be claiming, I would assume.
Yes.
I guess.
I would hazard caution, especially after the last temple we visited with a corrupt spirit.
So, to my question before, is there any insights or knowledge you might be able to share with us about your former compatriot that we might be able to use to help you with your current predicament?
He, Altala will speak up again. He disappeared into one of the rifts. It was not for some weeks that he reappeared. Whatever happened to him was beyond all of our combined understanding, despite a year of work. We have been unable to escape the fact that you are here. Calls everything into question.
I mean, you didn't just walk back down the Rainbow Bridge? It was real easy getting here. Just walk over that and
All three of them are
find
looking
some
at you like they're
stuff.
crazy, like you're crazy. It's varying degrees of pity. You see 0 pity from El Talo. Shamar's got like a 50-50 pity, 50 are you crazy. Nanette's mostly pity, but that's kind of worse. As they're all looking at you like you're insane as you talk about them.
Hey, question. When I read from the scroll, did the scroll dissipate, or do I still have the scroll?
You still have it.
Well, we were given the key to get here. Perhaps they were lacking the same key. Maybe we can, if we've opened the way, perhaps the way is still open, or worst case scenario, we can try to utter the words to return if the bridge is not there.
You know, the faces they're making sort of tell me this is a one-way trip sort of thing.
Right. Well, again, if they don't have the key, I hold up the scroll. If they didn't have this to get back, perhaps that was not possible for them until now.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, not to be kind of a dick here, but some of you do kind of have what look like slightly less grievous lightning wounds than I got, and I don't think any of us would be able to survive whatever you had to fight to get here.
Well, it's dead.
That does...
So.
Also, that doesn't really sound like you being a dick. That sounds like you're putting yourselves down. That's not healthy.
Well, I don't know if it's putting themselves down so much so as knowing their capability.
Yes.
Potato, potato. Well,
We are blessed beyond normal means on many people's standards.
As you say, blessed, Nanette will make will reach up as if grasping something and pull her hand down, and you realize she is making the symbol of helm.
well, be sure to add it onto our resume of capabilities in the hopes that we can very much dispatch of your former compatriot and now current storm aspect, it would seem.
Just to get a read of the room. No one's against us taking this guy down, right? Like none of you are like secretly in love with the dude.
El Talo will shake his head. Nanette will look down and flick her eyes in Shamar's direction. Shamar kind of scuffs and turns away from the party.
Got it. Okay. If we want to talk about saving him, I'm open to ideas.
There are
There's no
possibilities.
saving him.
You know, I was worried you were gonna say that.
We don't know enough. Gregor,
Well-
give me a dexterity check.
Oh, I was gonna say performance, but
The hammer
Oh,
falls on his head.
Both.
Dexterity.
No.
performance.
He drops
Oh.
a hammer on his head.
Slaps his
Okay.
tongue.
Ooh.
Okay.
No, let's
straight
see.
dexterity, or do you want
Yeah, straight-
acrobatics?
Straight dexterity. Unless you're adding in
Oh,
backflips. Okay. Grektar, you begin the performance of juggling, because the performance of juggling is starting with one, where you take it up, you flip it in the air, and you catch it. Take another one, you flip it in the air, and you catch it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh shit! And you you miss one of the hammers, and there's a very loud crashing sound as it smashes into a tall alembic on a table behind you, and some kind of
A tall
clear
what?
substance. Alembic?
Alembic alchemical system.
Like
Oh, okay.
some alchemical flask
Is
apparatus
that not the
thing.
thing?
No, it's
I don't know.
I mean,
It's-
it very well could be. I just am not familiar with the word. How do you spell it?
Alembic. Yeah, it's an alembic. It's where you heat one of them so that the steam collects and it goes down
Oh,
into the other
okay.
thing.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you're distilling alcohol.
Exactly. Yeah.
Got it.
Thank
you.
I
Something
make-
new.
Destroy their,
I
destroy their
recommend-
alcohol stores.
No! What has Grekthar done?
That wasn't like crucial to anybody's research, was
I apologize for my companion.
Sorry, Grekthar was bored.
Don't worry about it. Great. Velvet goes over and a minute at a time is putting pieces of glass together.
Yep.
So I think maybe we can use some background ambience. Why don't you focus on doing a low but intrusive beat on your drum?
Grektar's being put in timeout. Holy shit.
No, I'm just trying to make sure that we have some ambience. for the room and not break their stuff.
Look, uh, it's all right. That's one of mine. I'll be able to remake it. But if we can get out of here, I would be leaving it anyway. So, just is there anything we can help with while you're? I mean, did you just come here to save us, or
Well, we came to get rid of old Stormface McLightning guy.
you guys
So
did not know about old Stormface McLightning guy? You guys are
I think we
here
came
with.
here to seek a disturbance that was affecting our friend Artist Simber.
Mm-hmm.
ah, well, Stormface McLightning guy is part of the problem, but
You were
not exactly the main thing.
You were sent here with the rubbing of a tablet that you were sent to translate.
Yes.
Oh.
This was supposed to hopefully lead to a cure for Arctis.
Which
All right. Well,
we should show them that.
yeah, we should. Excuse me. We are more than happy to help with your problem. Perhaps in return, you might be able to tell us a little bit about this tablet. We were hoping to come here to learn more about what's written on it, and I will hold out the tablet.
Oh, where's it from? She'll take the paper with the rubbing on it, and she'll like hold it up to a candle so she can see it a little bit better. Oh, this is Nimberlee's, isn't it? I recognize the.
Yes.
Oh, Eltalo, you're from Nimbral. Would you do the honors? Eltalo will come over and say, "Indeed, these are from Nimbral. I'm more than happy to research and translate them while you're dealing with a Herako."
Oh, if you're gonna translate them, could I bother you for a bit of like a little dictionary of sorts, a few key phrases and words?
I'll see what I can come up with.
Awesome, thanks.
The scroll would be sufficient.
Yeah, I just needed to piece together little bits of things.
Right.
All right.
And in the meantime, would you mind if we rested here? We're more than happy to take on the task, but I would. He seems rather powerful. I'd rather face him fresh than not.
It would be
Of course. Can I offer any of y'all a magical healing? I don't know if you have a lot of it where you come from, but may the light of Helm always shine.
That's mighty kind of you. I'm not terribly injured. Is anyone else injured?
Grakthar does have a few ouchies.
Grakthar does have a. I am good and Georgie
If it's
is a robot, so yeah.
Yes, if it's not too much trouble to heal Grakhar's ouchies, that would be wonderful.
Yes, I'm sure you'll definitely need it.
And well, I
Okay.
guess robot is a good-
Sorry about breaking stuff. Grakthar was trying to entertain.
So I'm still going by piece.
It's like a Lego piece, just slowly, piece by piece.
It's okay, Grakthar. Everyone misses one hammer thrower to him, so. I used to try to teach Georgie to balance on top of big balls, but then he crushed a few people, so I had to stop doing that.
Oh,
Explain to me.
That sounds hilarious. Grakthar would have liked to have seen that.
I don't know if you would. I had to clean them off of him. The pieces. Sometimes I still think I smell it, but you know.
and then the key to how Grimlock became an adventurer is starting to fit more and more into piece.
I murdered a couple of people back in town. I had to leave
On
real
accident.
fast.
Every murder Grimco's done has been on accident.
Or he just fell.
They just fell and broke their neck underneath Georgie.
He's a several-ton artificial existence, okay?
Um, while we are resting here, if I'm imposing, by all means, let me know. But I'd be very curious to if you have any books of knowledge or history about where you come from or what magics you practice. It all sounds rather interesting.
Um, really quickly, you're all going to watch as Nanette does something that none of you have seen before.
Hmm.
Uh, she is going to cast a spell. It seems very
Hmm.
similar to the spells that you guys have all seen. Seems similar to what Velthek does. However, the words that she mutters are completely different. The way that she accesses the weave, for those of you that have the knowledge to know, is completely different. She casts Cure Light Wounds.
Ooh.
Uh, Mayhaps is that a spell from one of the other editions that I'm not aware of?
That is a 4th edition spell.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, so
Grekthar,
does
you
that mean?
heal. Yep.
Oh, no, no, go ahead.
You're going to heal according to her healing surge value. You're going to heal
Okay.
for 14 HP.
That was quite a fascinating use of spellcraft.
Well, what do you
Thank
mean?
you.
Can't say I've ever seen it done that way, but
Very new.
yeah.
I'm. Are they real hard up for magical healers out in the world?
No,
No.
I think just the way you access the weave is different from how casters from where we come from access the weave, I believe.
It is
I'd
very
even
unique.
say it's fascinating, to be honest. I can't say I've seen it done that way in ever.
Out
Would
of
anyone like
character.
to give me an Arcana check, please?
How
Yes.
much are we gonna blow their minds if we tell them they're out of time and space and that the land they come from is hundreds, if not thousands, of years gone?
I don't know,
Fuck.
man. Okay, so all of you understand that this is old magic. The higher you rolled, the more you know that this is like crazy and shouldn't be able to happen. I would say that Velthek and Grimka both realize that this is against the laws of magic as Mistra has put them
Oh,
currently.
shit.
Oh.
This should not, beyond the fact that you've not seen it done, it should not be possible. The sources of magic that she's reaching out towards don't exist anymore and haven't for more than 100 years.
I just
You
imagine Sonya's
realize
like, oh, magic is fucky. Who knows what happens?
Velthek and Grimka alone is the one, and I'll say Helena with a natural 20 will also realize that one of these rifts that are currently open must be connected to the direct plane of magic that she is calling on, bypassing the usual laws of magic. She's not making a phone call to her god. She's on a landline.
Ouch.
Bruh.
She is the only cleric still using like 3G Wi-Fi, and the whole world is on 5G.
But you get that hard line, bro.
Mm-hmm. She's on dial-up still.
Gurnka like sort of like hops off of Georgie. He's like, may I approach a little bit closer?
Of course, dog.
Uh,
And she's a little taller than you are. Big, fluffy, beard.
if you don't mind me saying, you've got a way of casting spells that I think is almost, well, I'd say it was impossible if I weren't looking at it.
not seen it like that myself. Not the other clerics.
Yeah, you. For all intents and purposes, you shouldn't be able to do what you do.
Uh, what do you mean?
Well, you see, magic works in a certain way. There's a
I
certain
know how
flow.
magic works.
Right, but it's not how your magic works.
Perhaps a demonstration might help, and
Right.
in the
Solani.
way she accessed the weave, I'll use a first level spell to kind of like cast ice knife without throwing it, just like make an ice knife so she can
Mhm.
see how I'm accessing the weave, and just like have a floating ice knife in the palm of my hand.
And I'll go to Solani and sort of like do a little class on how magic works, and I'll be like, you see how the channeling works this way, and
Well, yeah, you're arcane casters, and I'm a divine caster.
well, not quite.
It's gonna
Velthek,
work. It's gonna work real different.
well, let's look at this. We'll compare divine to divine. Velthek, would
Yeah,
you want?
Velvet, would you be a dear?
Of course.
Show us a parlor trick.
In the corner, Mysika, Helena, and Grakthar are just banging their heads on the drum one at a time. They're just like, I'm so bored.
These nerds.
I will
Helena knows magic. Helena can get in on the nerddom.
mutter a prayer as the familiar radiance built up in my hand as I will do a cure wounds.
Okay. She'll furrow her brow. But you're just... What the heck?
A cleric.
Exactly.
I follow
Your
Salvos.
magic.
You're all doing magic. Y'all are from a rift. You came from another... You're not here from your world. You're here from another world that's real similar. But you can't be from Toriel then. What's your place called?
What's Toril?
The round rock we're standing on
Yeah,
right
the
now.
realm that we preside on.
Grakthar thought we were in Chult?
The Chult's on Toriel.
Yep.
That is
Are we?
where we're from.
Is the planet called Faerun? Is that the planet's
That's
name?
the continent. Toriel's the planet.
Oh fuck! Oh shit!
The only reason why I'm saying
Look,
this is
I
'cause
never
Velvet came from
followed
a
up
rich
on D and D lore. I don't.
Well,
I only do. I've only never played in Homebrew Worlds. I don't know.
If you ever meet anyone from Abier, fucking run.
well, that's where we're from, right? But I believe I didn't say. Answer me this. Can you tell me some?
Riddle me
Famous-
this, Batman.
Can you tell me some famous cities?
She does. She starts listing off cities that existed in Toriel, along the Sword Coast still was a thing, right, in 4th edition?
It was just starting to grow, yeah.
Yeah, so she'll start naming cities from that area, from before the Spell Plague.
Right. I think this is less
And
of a problem of place and a problem of time.
Right.
See,
So I happen to have a book, a history book of some sort.
How large were these cities when you had heard of them?
Roll history, everybody.
Yeah. We're very educated. Grandpa, my boy.
Oh, buddy.
I'm very
Oh,
glad you
buddy.
slamming the drum.
Oh, buddy.
Oh,
Grakdar and Helena just bong, bong, bong with the drum on their foreheads. Yeah,
Oh,
they started
Grakdar
picking up
has
the
to
drum
do
and
slow
hitting
drums.
it against their heads rather than bending down. They're like, oh yeah, that helps with the back pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're having their "I'm just Ken" moment over on the side. Barbie's over
I'm
here
proud of them.
playing history. Okay. Grivka and Solani and Veltek. You all realize that her present day information is about, or maybe a little bit more than, 100 years out of date.
Mhm.
Well,
So
do you want
yeah,
to
I was
break the
waiting for
news
that
or should I?
bombshell. So in Torel, the planet Cone, there was an event called the Spell Plague that fundamentally changed how magic worked. It changed the magic you use and morphed it into the magic we use and how we access the weave.
Right.
I'm going to say something shocking, so please brace yourself.
Maybe
That
sit
event
down.
happened over 100 years ago for your material plane.
100 years.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
I'm not sure when exactly your citadel here found its way into this rift, but if it was related to the spell plague, then 100 years.
I mean,
Take your time.
they all kind of react in their own way. Shamar just kind of mutters something and walks back down the tunnel that you guys came from. El Talo doesn't say anything and kind of just turns away, makes his way back over to a desk and just puts his hand on it. And it looks like he's reading what's open there, but after a minute passes and he still hasn't turned a page once clear. He's just.
Yeah.
And Nanette is like immediately kind of has turned away and has begun to pray, asking Helm for guidance, asking the ever-watching eye to look down upon her and see the way out of her current situation, and
All right.
what the right
Take all the
path
time you
is.
need. Yeah, take all the time you need. We will be here, not causing the disturbance. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we will do our best not to disturb you or
I'm really
break anything
sorry.
else.
I'm really sorry, everyone. I just figured it'd be better to learn it now than when we eventually get to the other side.
Learn what?
I'll leave them to themselves, and I'll explain to Grakthar how we just told them that they have been stuck in this rift, and 100 years have passed in the real world.
When a
Well,
mommy
no time has
magic
passed
and
for
a
them.
daddy magic love each other very much.
They make a
Well,
first, second,
that's
third,
no big
fourth, and
deal.
fifth child.
Gregthar's old.
I know it's not the
Gra-
same for elves. That's a blink of an eye. For humans and then to centaurs, it's a little different.
So that means since Grakthar is 300 years old, Grakthar was alive when they were in normal time.
Yes,
Right.
you were a fourth edition of barbarian at some point.
Not necessarily, because you guys are from another plane. Time is not the
Right.
same.
Well, hang on. Is the
True.
Feywild the same in every play?
No.
Fuck.
Well, yes,
Okay,
but
then.
no, Grakthar.
Grakthar
That is a
just
question.
stared.
There's like 3 generations of elves that were alive through the spell plague that 5th edition just
Well, that's what
doesn't
I'm
talk
saying.
about ever. Oh no, because 5th
Right,
edition
if they
shortened
were-
the lives of elves.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Elves only live
Elves
like
live-
200 years in canon now, or something stupid like that.
No, they don't. They live to like 700. A high elf lives to like 700 something.
Was that
I'll
still the thing?
double-check,
Because
but-
I'm saying like since the first 5th edition books came out, they've changed that.
Oh,
I
did they
think
change it in like Mordenkainen's?
Hold on, I'm looking at elf right now.
I'm pretty sure they
Turnout.
still live for metal.
In the books,
Oh
I
no,
remember
elves can
like in
live
the
well
break-
over 700 years. It still says it.
Right, that's what I'm
Never mind.
saying. So they,
No, yeah.
unless we're talking about alternate reality stuff, and if we're from the same world, me and Grakthar would have been alive
Oh.
during the.
Here we go. They changed it to can live to be up to 750 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Right.
in the sub races. They changed all of it.
'Cause, 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 'cause,
So they shortened it to less than a millennia.
Right, but that's still both me and Grandfather. If it was only happened 100 years ago, we're still alive during the Fourth Age.
Or it could be like a
Or-
Loki, we're a variant timeline kind of thing.
Or yeah,
Well,
the
that's what I'm
Feywild
saying.
time passes differently, and all of the other yeah. I always thought that the material plane was the slowest. That always made sense to me. Was that the material plane was
I
the
definitely
slowest.
I get what you're saying. It definitely time is wonky, but say what if we lived in the material plane and we were the same
Sure.
age, and then yeah,
No, for sure.
riddle me that, Riddler.
No, that's what I'm saying. I want.
I know in Starfinder they actually just had an event where it's like, yeah, everyone just lost their minds for a second and just lost their memories. Crazy. Anyway, going forward.
Curious of how Masika's reacting to all this.
Well, I mean, Masika knew the deal when we
Oh,
got
I know,
here.
but I'm curious to see if there's a glint of something in her eye. An idea.
All right. Well, while we're doing that, I think the idea is to take a long rest if we're going to face this storm man, this stormy boy.
Yeah, I mean it's probably around 7 or 8 o'clock at night at this point. So if you guys are gonna get a long rest, you're able to. They'll eventually come back, and each of them have different questions for you, mostly historical based about like what happened to specific regions, and you're able to provide them that information with the high rolls that you guys have accrued and shared between each other about knowing about the change in magic. I apologize. The spell plague actually marked a difference between 3rd and 4th edition. The fall of the Netheri's Empire was the 4th to the 5th, but regardless, it's still. The spell plague still took place in
on the fucking gun.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost as if it would be easier if they just didn't try to do a natural continuity between all of them and just be like, "Hey, here's a soft reboot."
Or just say it's a new just say it's a new plane. Like the 4th edition plane exists, the 5th edition plane exists. And yeah. But I get the wanting to continue it. It's like this campaign.
Yeah, but we're not breaking the world for this campaign.
I mean, isn't a player leaving sort of like a defining change of magic to a realm?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sort of.
A loss of large magic.
Connor, are you really gonna wreak a spell plague on my campaign?
Not on this one.
Oh, yike. All right.
That's very curious because it's God. No, I'll get into semantics later on that.
Anyway, we could have gotten around all of this by Tomb of Annihilation not being set like 113 years after the spell plague. It would be a lot easier if this was not the case. But it's relevant to the continent.
It's very interesting.
It's very interesting. You guys are going to have a long rest. Are you guys going to set watches? Are you guys going to do anything specific that I need to know about? Do you guys want to completely hand wave it and it already be morning already?
I don't think we need to set a watch. I'm not worried about these people doing anything to it.
Yeah, these guys have been here for 100 years and nothing's attacked them. I feel like it's fine. If there is any, yeah, but their friend presumably has not gone into this lab. If there are any just like ancient tomes of magic or any knowledge that might have been lost, I'd be curious to like look through what books or knowledge they might have here just for leisurely reading while we
I'd
rest.
like to as well. But who knows how many like centuries who knows how many centuries of like technology there is to read about that I might have known about until now. So.
I brew up a special tea. I handed him a Grimka. I swear this is the best library book reading tea you can drink while reading. It gets your mind at peak reading opportunity. Let's go.
Maybe, you know what? Actually, I am going to draw up a design for maybe a electroprojectile weapon. Totally not planning on using whatever lightning powers that guy had. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'll draw up a prototype. I don't know if it'll work, but you know.
Draw up a prototype, see what happens, and we'll see if we can harness the power of the storms. You can make Georgia a new aspect of storm, maybe. I'm sure that will have no ramifications on the natural world.
Right. Well, I
They
need a
do
crystal
already call
tower.
you the Storm Reavers, says Masika.
Really?
Wait, what?
Hmm.
The people from the village that you
Was I
they
there?
called you
I don't.
Kaibo village. You saved
They
them
called
from
the
the
Storm Reavers?
Tractars. They
No, I remember.
there
I
were the
remember doing that. I don't
prophesized Storm Reavers there to save them from the mists and the storm
see. I don't remember the
coming in
prophecy
from the
part.
mountains.
I remember taking care
Oh,
of their bird problem. I don't remember us being in a prophecy.
The
right.
the 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 guy, Uzoma said that about you guys. He's like the spiritual leader or whatever.
Oh, well, I didn't. Is it bad that I kind of stopped paying attention when the guy got unfrozen out of the ice, and the
Kinda.
one lizard guy was like real smelly, but it was kind of a good smell.
I'm not gonna lie. I was more worried about the near sentient magical artifact on his finger, and the fact that Velta keeps on destroying everything around him.
That too.
Yeah,
I was kind of
I
worried that that thing was gonna melt.
I have yeah, since you guys have walked in, you've noticed that the singular like plant that they have down here, some kind of ivy
Oh
that
no!
doesn't seem to need
Oh
light.
no!
It's looking a little yellow. You walked a little
Velta,
close to
stand
it
away
at
from
one
the
point.
flower. It's the one thing bringing them joy. Stand away from the flower.
I'll go over to the corner.
It's the
Thank
one bit
you.
of life they got around. Might
Yes, I'm sure
Beside
that
themselves.
alchemical system
Okay.
definitely wasn't.
You guys start looking around the lab. It is littered with all kinds of tools and equipment, far more than 2 or even 3 people could use easily. It's clear that there were probably once around 15 people that worked in this and other spaces. As you look around, it becomes clear that this secret lab that they have barricaded themselves in was probably at one time a storage closet or a annex area, not built for this, where all of this furniture was shoved into in quite a rush, it seems. Some of them, some of the pieces and tables in the back of the room actually have large scars of electricity and fire burned into the top of them. There are enough materials here that you could make an alchemist's supplies, a cartographer's tools, a mason's tools, and a tinkerer's tools, if you so wished, out of all of the different things and bags that are sitting around. In terms of research, El Talo and Nanette have their own journals, but they seem to have kept those close to them. El Talo specifically seems to keep his on his belt opposite a large, what looks like tome of spells. Shamar does not have any research, but you can see that there is a small section of the room that he's kind of made a natural cubicle out of 2 shelves, and he has a few things stacked there. There's
Yeah,
not
we're not.
like forgotten research of any kind that lays around. It's as if that were, it's as if that would be somewhere else, perhaps.
Right. Once they are willing to talk and have kind of are more gone over the shock of being stuck
They've
for
lost
100 years.
everyone they've ever known. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe not Annette. Dwarves are can live to be like 300 something. She might still have family around.
Yeah, but the spell plague also destroyed a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, consider she's
Well,
before
okay.
the spell plague. I don't know about that fact.
Okay. Well, maybe.
My family
I
probably showed up after the spell plague, so
I would ask if there's any other creatures or minions of their friend who might be roaming about between us and him, or is it just him up there?
Just him. El Talo will be the first that would be willing to talk to you, as he was the one who was keeping up a front. It seems that that front became more and more solid, and he did return to research at some point while you guys were looking around the rooms. And he'll tell you that it is just him, as far as they know. They are the only 3 living people besides you guys.
Yeah. All right then.
I would. to see if Nanette's alright.
She's sitting where she was kneeling previously, praying, kind of looking off into space as you walk up.
May I join you?
Sure. Nothing to join.
I'll pay you.
Pay me what?
Money.
Just looks a little hollow-eyed.
Go ahead. Take a seat next to her. It's never easy losing that much.
Yeah.
I will say you are still blessed, though, being able to be so connected with your God. Sure that they still watch over them.
I mean, it doesn't change what I gotta do. We still just gotta get out of here and gotta get going. Gotta get home. Gotta find out where home is. Gotta get some guidance. Gotta.
Kind of gently put a hand on her shoulder.
I should have seen this coming. I should have watched and guarded against it. I should have.
You did what you had to.
She furrows her brow, looks up at you, as if, and then she'll kind of spring to her feet. Would I have to? No, you're right. Get some rest. I'm gonna. She kind of looks off, as if thinking 2 or 3 different things at once. I'm gonna get something ready for y'all. And she strides over to where she was when you guys entered, and picks up what looks like an unfinished piece of work and begins the process of like closing it down and putting it to the side so she can begin something else.
As she does proceed with her work. And you feel ready. I am willing to listen.
She'll nod distractedly, already invested in a new project. She seems to be crafting 5 or 6 things at once. Is there anything else that you guys would like to do over or before your long rest?
Not particularly.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Besides, draw that plan.
Was good, Jake. Thank you for the
All right.
reset.
Then you guys can all give yourself the benefits of a long rest. We
I'll
don't
annihilate
need
the
to
shit
do
out of you
anything other
two.
than how do you guys eat tonight and in the morning? Do you guys have rations? You guys
Yeah.
have tracked
I have
rations?
lots of rations.
All right, track
We get
rations.
Grax on a lot of
Everybody, get me a ration. And how do you drink water? Because there's nowhere to set up rain
Use
catchers or
my
anything.
Last
get your
5th
jug.
level slot before the night.
Oh, here we go. Great food
Also,
and
don't we have an
water.
alchemy jug? We also have an alchemy jug.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
do.
have an alchemy jug. It's
It's
one.
true. I think the alchemy jug is good for 5 people, and you have 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it does 8 gallons.
And if
Yeah.
you're gonna do dispel,
Oh,
we
it
could
does 4
probably-
people. Or it's only.
We
good
could
for 4
probably also feed
But yeah,
the other 3 that are here. Yeah.
Yeah, you make them some bland but nourishing food.
tacos.
Well, I'm sorry, we don't
Let's raise
have
the
anything.
question. That does raise a question. What have you all been eating and drinking here?
Nanette will open her hands, and I don't have the list in front of me, but there is a 4th edition equivalent.
Ah,
You went deep
fair enough.
diving, bro.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Honestly,
I believe hers are not as untasty, but she makes less. Is the
it. Yes,
distinction? Hold on.
she would make less, but I believe it has more flavor.
Well, we don't exactly have things to cook, or I would maybe.
Don't
see if
rations
I-
also come with water or something like that?
Nope.
Or am I misremembering?
That's just
No.
meal for the day.
It's just-
You gotta get
yeah.
your own water.
Mm-hmm.
My legs. Speaking of water, I'm gonna go get some.
all right.
Same.
Everybody getting water.
I'm drinking beer.
I'm drinking Monster.
Drinking water and Monster.
Okay. Morning. Is there anything in the morning that either of the two of you who did not leave want to do?
Not particularly in character, but I will take the time to repick my spells
Ooh, fun.
Yes.
based on the info that is presumably just one guy.
Based. Let's see. I should repick some. I also need to roll the recharge of the scepter. That way I could fuck myself up further.
Well, I have like an out of character mechanics question. I guess. Well, not really mechanics. More
Don't
like.
break my immersion. Don't fucking break my immersion right now. I swear to
No,
God.
no.
No.
So,
No.
If
no.
I were to like want to invent a thing, how
Yeah.
exactly would we want to handle that?
I mean, what are you trying to invent?
Well, I want to drop.
What are you going to say that doesn't exist in this world?
Oranges.
I want to draw up this. Like like I said, I want to drop this prototype, right? To see if I can maybe get, a Georgie mounted lightning
One does not
gun.
draw up a prototype overnight. Is the thing.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, how would you want to
When
handle it?
when do you get your next upgrade to Georgie?
It's a good question. I have to go into the chat and open that thing.
You should definitely have it saved somewhere other than the chat.
Man. Yeah. Man, yeah.
Word.
That's what. Did we ever pin it to the chat? No, we did
It's
not.
it's right here. It wasn't that far of a scroll. I have saved it. Alright, there you go. I have it there now.
This is the hard part because I never know what to bring, and I always think I prepare for the right stuff, and then I am completely
Wrong.
incorrect.
We're
Yeah, Nick, can you
level-
just tell me what this guy is weak and strong against so I can prepare accordingly?
Do you want to ask any specific and pointed questions to the
I
sages?
did before. All they told us
You
was that
just-
they came from.
You
I
just
asked if there's
them to
any
tell
insight
you
or knowledge that they could give us about him that would
He's
help
an-
us in fighting him.
he's an elemental. Ask a follow-up question. What kind of element?
Yes.
Does he seem rather dexterous? I think we got the element down. There references a storm, so he is some kind of
Is he approaching?
storm elemental, I am presuming.
Is he super
Unless they would like to tell me.
Is he
Yeah,
super dexterous is not a
that's what I
question
need
my
to know.
NPCs can
That's
answer.
what I.
I'm sorry.
That's why I didn't ask it. That's why it was a goof. But
gotta-
you asked for
gotta
questions like
get-
that's what the questions I would ask. But since I can't ask that,
When he was a person, was he good at the limbo?
how good was he at sealing things? Say he had to dodge out of a disintegrate. Do you think he could do it well?
Say Georgie is ripping into his stomach. How long do you think he would take him to die?
Oh, he doesn't have a stomach anymore.
Okay.
All right, good to know. We can't poison. We can't
Right.
feed him a poison thing.
Exactly. I'm
No, he's
looking
an
at this
elemental now.
thing.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know when I'm offered upgrades. Goldsmith, though. Is it at the top? When I find it here?
Usually, I know
Upgrade.
you're doing
Yeah.
like a homebrew thing, but usually it's like in the
Uh,
leveling chart, it'll
oh,
say.
I get I get an upgrade next level.
Oh, so at 13?
Yeah, I get to pick another upgrade next level.
So is there something in the upgrades that exists that you're looking to add? Or is this something
Um,
that does not exist?
I think it does exist because there was a thing that lets me take like something from another sub in this, right?
Mhm.
But the thing is, I already took that because I took the charge blade, which is like the lightning sword thing, right?
I don't know.
There's a
You're the one reading
flamethrower
it.
armor on here.
All right. Question for the sage people.
Yes.
You've mentioned these rifts a couple of times. Do you happen to know of any surefire way or knowledge on how to close them or operate around them if your friend summons one, or is it mostly up to the chaos of magic?
The unbound weave, as you have described, is not something we as humans can predict. Not a human. Yes. What I'm trying to say is that stay away from them at all costs. There is no benefit to going near them other than the loss of your mind.
Right. Does your friend have the capability of opening rifts, or is he just the product of going into one?
He has been funneling all of the rifts into one, and is sustaining himself and it in an ever-increasing ritual.
So, if we can close the rifts, we can cut off his source of power, is what
If
I'm
you can-
hearing.
Or if you can kill him, the rift should close on its own. Yes.
Right, but I'm saying if he's so
Ragnar
powerful
votes
from
for
these sources
that
of...
option.
Thank you, Gakvar. I was only saying if we could cut off his source of power, make the killing of him rather easier. If he was not having any power funneled into him. But if that's not possible, then yes, we can try killing first.
With my magic, it is not.
Right, I understand. Yes.
What I have learned is that you are a fundamentally different spellcaster from me. Maybe
My
possible.
mistress is the best.
Well,
His face
it would-
dawns with an understanding as you say mistress.
no, not that's his term. That's not what I am.
Don't worry.
It's a
Mr.
long
Saul.
story.
Are we
No,
sure that's not what you are?
I'm not.
This way. And he'll turn and start leading you all with Nanette towards a heavily barricaded door.
I should have glared Grakthar knowing that no matter how often I'll ask, he'll never stop.
I assume this would lead us straight up there then.
What
It is not a
I
street.
want to add. What should I replace for dispel magic? Because I feel like that would be useful in potentially closing this.
Allow me a minute.
Haste.
If that's what it comes to.
Allow me a minute to
Can't
make
get
a
rid of
preparation.
haste.
Get rid of haste.
No,
Get rid of it.
never.
Mel think is gonna go make a preparation for the day.
Let's
well-
get rid of ice knife. Because all my first level spells are mainly for shield anyway.
Yeah, we're the classic with the scepter.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Fucking... Give me your sheet. What are we at?
It should be a 4.
Grakta, I don't think we're in Chult anymore. I don't think you have to apply bug that today.
Wisdom saving throw, correct? wisdom check.
It's
no.
just a straight D20 check plus
+4.
now +4.
Alrighty. Just scared the living shit out of our new compatriots.
Give me 1 second.
Oh yeah. You know what? Sure, why not? We'll use a once per for that.
I just pictured Graktar as a little dog.
Why?
Oh,
Because of the Toto. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Grakta, we're not in favor anymore, are we? Wait, no, that's Con. Corel.
I'm just gonna fucking annihilate myself with this scepter without even knowing what's going on.
Hello, sorry about that.
Yeah, boy.
All right. Oh my goodness gracious.
I told you the scepter's never gonna fucking ever listen to me. It'll never happen.
What happened? Did he blow up the castle with his roll?
Oh no, the castle brewed up.
I blew it
Oh
up.
no.
So you used this staff where? You said you
Oh my
just
God.
you went to one side of this room?
I would probably go further out because I know the feedback of this is bad.
I
so,
mean,
in the hallway.
okay. So you're 10 feet outside of the room.
Yes.
We're all
Would
dead.
we have started down the pathway?
Yeah,
I think something's happening
because
before.
Valthek did say he was gonna wait until. So the only person that's within, let's say, 50 feet of you at this point, as you guys start to walk out the north hallways, they unbind the magical protections, is gonna be Shamar.
Oh no.
Hey, boy.
Oh no.
You want to see
Oh,
my
no.
god? Because you're about to.
You're about to meet
What did
yours.
you do?
The Clapicus of God.
Velthik, I think we need to get you licensed and registered to use ancient artifacts of unknown power.
I mean, I'm working on
You
it.
might need to. Yeah. That being said, I am very much afraid of what's about to happen.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Well, so far, the last 4 has only consumed extra charges of the staff.
You guys went to sleep at 8 o'clock. 8-hour long rest puts it at 6 a.m. An hour to get up. You guys are leaving at 7 a.m. Let's say.
Time has fast forwarded.
Okay. That does not get to the DC that I have currently set.
Yep.
As per usual, that means the staff will consume double the number of, so it's 18 points, right, for foresight instead. Can you do that without hitting 0?
Yes, I had rolled really well for the recharge, so.
You got a 23. Very nice. Okay. The spell this time does not go off. That is a 9th level spell. Allow me to open all of the 9th level spells that exist.
Oh.
1 second. I need to count.
Blade of Disaster, Meteor, fucking Psychic
9th
Scream.
level spells.
Wish.
Can you roll me a D100, please?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna laugh.
Roll Meteor Swarm. I dare
I
you.
love
Roll
this
Meteor Swarm.
castle.
I mean, at least we're underground because it has to come from above. Right?
20
There's only
spells
3 of them
and
left, and this is their home.
Don't worry about it. They weren't using it anymore.
Well,
What do you
they
mean?
did say if they could leave, they would abandon it. So is it really their home, or is it really just where they're forced to be?
Where are
And
they
we're-
going to stay
Okay.
while we're doing our job?
So, the normal effect of this wild magic surge would be to cast a specific spell on a random creature within 60 feet.
Oh,
What it's
God.
going to do instead is target a random creature within 60 feet
Hell
with one of
yeah.
the spells that you could possibly cast with that much magic.
Get to kill myself right now.
Well, it's either you or Shamir. It sounded like that were
Please
within
roll me a
range.
D2 and a
Oh my god.
D20.
Ugh.
Sounds like belated disaster. Shamir, probably. Really good roll.
18.
Oh no.
Let's hope 18's nothing terrible.
I did
Unless
forget that
18
this
is to hit, is the to hit roll.
Well, I'm pretty sure this entire place, because I forgot from last time, is all wild magic.
Yeah.
What are you doing when you're usually trying to channel the staff? Like, what is it? Like a tap? Is it a two-handed like focus thing? Is it like a
Fully,
swing, like a World of Warcraft character?
fully, especially for this, blessing myself, on one knee, holding it both hands with the, basically like the large diamond eye towards my forehead, where the third eye would be on someone.
Okay, so kind of at an angle down close to yourself.
Yes.
All right. The spell goes off, and as you look up, you see the large eye blink, and the staff rotates to look at Shamar.
Oh no.
Oh god.
A
Oh.
powerful beam of pure magic lances out and suffuses him. He is completely obscured from all of you by this bright white magic. As you look back, all of you clustering back around the doorway to see what's going on. As you see, as the light begins to fade, you can see that Shamar is being lowered gently back down to the ground, his arms out to the side, his head craned back. And he looks great. He is
Did I just hit him with true resurrection?
young. He is younger. His
Oh
what
my
you
God.
could see of his scar is completely gone. His eyes, which were furrowed and and surrounded by heavy lines, seem bright and new. And though the rest of his clothing looks the same, he appears as if a weight has been lifted from him. He stands a little bit taller, he walks just a little bit surer, and even his teeth are a little bit whiter.
No.
True resurrection, baby!
At least it didn't fucking incinerate him immediately.
Oh my god.
That's fucking hilarious.
You look less short.
I look over at him. You look rather impressive.
I feel great. What the fuck was that? Holy shit. You know how
Yeah,
you wake up
Delphic,
every
what the
morning
fuck
and
was
you're
that?
old and you're dying and your joints hurt?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not anymore.
Friend, I think what you've come into is the biggest streak of good luck you'll ever have in your life.
Yeah, hey, whatever the fuck you just did, please don't ever do it again.
I will get more distance next time. But you look fantastic.
Thanks.
Yes, we should all be
That's
aware
that's
that magic
quite
works
the
differently
staff.
here.
This is something I've been charged with guarding, but also learning. I apologize. I should have stepped further away.
You think?
Okay. If we could continue, please.
Yes.
Giant elemental bent on destroying all of us. We have barely kept it contained for a year, which you have told us has now been a century. Time is clearly of the essence. We have no idea how long you all have been here now.
Which is
You
concerning.
know what? I never thought about that.
It's the first thing I was worrying about me when I sent a message to Azaka before leaving for this place.
Alrighty. You guys